My name is Cynthia Anderson, and I was a dependent of a military member of the U.S. Air Force. I imagined it was going to be sort of scary when I first started, since I was so young, and my husband joined the military at 19 years old. So to go to a different country at an early age, it was exciting. Some of the things that I remember adapting to the lifestyle as a military dependent, it was so close-knit, and well, I didn't understand about adapt to a different lifestyle, being in the military versus being civilian. They operated completely different. So you learn how to deal with life in the military. How did I stay in touch with family and friends back home? Well, back in the 1990s, there were no phones. Our first base was Clark Air Base in the Philippines. So it was once a month that we would be able to call. So we go over to the building, it's called MWR, and they would allow us to call back home once a month. So that's how it was. And then we wrote a lot of letters. So when we were overseas, because we went to the Philippines and we went to Japan, how did I adapt? Well, in Japan, as far as driving, we had to drive on the other side of the road, and the steering wheel was on the other side of the road. So that was something to get used to. But as far as the lifestyle, it was so laid back. That was about the best living that we could have lived. Coming back to the States, we had to adjust to just how the living was, how just people's attitudes and everything. And that was like a culture shock coming from overseas to back to the States. Is there someone that my husband served with that I remember fondly? Yes, as a matter of fact, his name was Marcus Carter. Our son is actually named after him. And they were in the Philippines with us. They were in Japan with us. Wherever we went, it was their family that followed us. And then they also moved to Texas. So that's how we remember them, for almost 30 years now. The fun things that my friends and I did when we were overseas, we went to Shinjuku. It's a city near Tokyo. We also went to Disneyland. We went to a military hotel called the Nusano Hotel. It was specifically for government civilians and military personnel. That was, considered our hotel. So we went there and we toured Tokyo. It was just, we went to football games. My husband retired in September of 2007, and the process was he retired we were in Japan at the time, and then for him to retire, we actually had to come back to the States. We went to Macon, Georgia, and he formerly retired at Air Force Base in Georgia. It affected me in a positive way because of the friendships that we developed. I was able to get all my degrees through the military. The government paid for them, so that was very fortunate for me. But the only thing is, with us moving, it sort of put a damper on me getting jobs because I had to go from place to place. When we went to another base, I had to find a job. But it was fun. Overall, it was a good experience. My husband, when he had to be deployed, so he was deployed from, his family. And it was sort of, it was difficult for the kids. But with our friends, we had a village. They helped me take care of the kids. And then everything was fine, but it was just his being away from the family.